Big Intel just got doged. Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, is taking a hatchet to her own office. She says our spy agencies are bloated, too political, and focusing on all the wrong things. So she's slashing $700 million, along with up to 40% of the workforce, and calling what's left DNI 2.0. Tulsi Gabbard joins me now. So what moved you to reinvent this office?
As you know, Jesse, this organization, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, was created 20 years ago in the wake of the egregious and strategic intelligence failures around the Islamist terrorist attack on 9/11 in our country. And this office was created by Congress to get after those problems, to make sure that there is one independent body providing that oversight over the intelligence community, integrating intelligence, making sure that the left hand is sharing information with the right hand, and fundamentally and most importantly, ensuring that the intelligence that is being provided to the President of the United States is timely, it is relevant, and it is apolitical, objective. That he is actually getting the information he needs to make the critical decisions that he makes every single day. Fast forward to where we are today. DNI has more than doubled in size. It is bloated with bureaucracy. It is rife with politicization, weaponization, the very thing that it was created to try to prevent and get after. And unfortunately, it has failed to meet its mandate. And so this launch today of DNI 2.0, as you said, we will save taxpayers more than $700 million every year, cutting the organization by over 40% and making sure that those who are working at the Office of the Director of National Intelligence are aggressively getting after our core mission, which is really ensuring the safety, security, and freedom of the American people.
So you're saying when you got in there, you saw them not synthesizing and sharing intelligence as they should. They were mostly hatchet men for the left and sabotaging people?
You know, sometimes they were sharing, sometimes good work was being done, but too often I was seeing, for example, pockets within the DNI where partisan political elements were tucked away in the hopes that no one would see their work or see what actions they were taking, and in some cases, very directly. And again, this is after I got in this office, after President Trump was inaugurated, inserting their own partisan views and opinions into intelligence documents. Obviously, you've seen what we've released over the last several weeks of people like Obama's DNI James Clapper and CIA Director John Brennan inserting and politicizing, weaponizing, manufacturing an intelligence document for purely political reasons. This kind of thing, unfortunately, still exists within the intelligence community. The changes that I'm making at DNI is just the very first step to bring about an end to this dangerous politicization of intelligence that ultimately is undermining our national security and our republic, and make sure that the intelligence community is staying focused on its core mission and then beginning through transparency and accountability, to start to earn the trust of the American people that's been broken for a very, very long time.
Director, we're seeing that you got rid of the Forward Malign Influencer Center. Well, first of all, what was that? And did they resist?
Well, here's what's interesting, Jesse, is this was created under the Biden administration. And ultimately, it has been used, and this is documented, there's documented evidence of this, is that it was essentially used as a means to censor Americans' free speech. Calling it, hey, you're spreading disinformation. This center was going and working with different social media companies, saying, well, this is disinformation or misinformation. We have to censor these dissenting voices who are being critical of the then Biden administration. So that's one example of some of the others, once again, who are not only not conducting our core national security mission, but actually existing as a means to politicize intelligence and, in this case, censor free speech of Americans, which is in direct contradiction and undermining of our fundamental constitutional rights.
Well, I'm sure the president's very happy about this, not only because you're kind of rooting out the garbage, but saving almost $1 billion is pretty useful when you're in this much debt.